am Nochola the Drawer, an artist and adventurer from the UK. Let's get creative.
Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I want to talk about how you find new clients. Being an artist, you might have your own website, but you want to find more ways to get out there and get in front of new clients. I'm going to be giving a review on today's video for the platform Book an Artist. It is a platform that is on a mission to connect people looking for great artwork and artists that produce it in their local area. They want to educate and promote the benefit of having your own original custom-made artwork. This is a way for you to use a new platform to get in front of new potential clients, and I wanted to give an honest review of how I felt using the platform from first signing up to getting new clients and the experience that I had using it. If this video is useful to you, I'd love you to hit the like button and press subscribe. It means that I can reach more people just like you that might find this video useful. So what is good about Book an Artist, for starters, is you might have your own website. You might be on even other platforms throughout the internet where people can find you. But this is a way that people who are looking for art come to the platform and they can discover your work. So it's the clients coming to you rather than you outreaching to the clients. So let's talk through how you set up a profile and what are the steps to getting your new clients. First of all, when you sign up as an artist, you should definitely go to the F&Q page. It answers a lot of the queries that you might have about how the platform works, why Book an Artist started, their story behind it, and how it's going to help you. When you sign up, what is great about Book an Artist is that you're tailoring the information to you. So you put in things like your location. So at the moment, I'm in the northeast of England, so I'm signed up to the Newcastle area. There's a few things that are tailored to who you are as artist, as in what you charge, what your lowest budget is, what materials you work in, what services that you supply. So for example, I am a mural artist and an illustrator. I've got mural art, indoor, outdoor, I've got illustration, digital illustration, and a few other things like workshops that I've said that I'm available for on my service. You tailor it to what you can supply the customer. There's also the option of ticking how you work. I always design and create all of my work. And that's really important to me, that the designs that I'm creating are my original designs that are custom made for the customer. So once you've filled in that information, it's time to add your portfolio. This, of course, is always important. They advise between 5 and 10 images on each of the categories that you're signed up for. So I'm signed up for mural and graffiti art, and I'm also signed up for illustration. So I think I started by just putting my top 5 pieces on the platform for each of those, and then as time has progressed, I've made sure to add more and more images. They've also recently added the Instagram feature, so you can also have your Instagram feed on there as well, which is awesome because it's another point of visual reference for the clients to have a look at your work. With Book an Artist, you do not put your website on. The whole point is that you work through their platform. They're there to help you, and everything is done through their platform. So there is no links to your website and no moving off the platform when you're working with clients. Like adding the Instagram feature, they are still an up and coming platform. So they are continually adding new parts to the platform that helps you and the customer. Like they have recently added an app. So that's great. So that means you can get to all of your information straight away on the app. What is great about all the communication that happens through the platform is you are notified in your email when a new message comes through, a new inquiry, and they also give you updates on your progress, what's been waiting, if there's someone waiting for a quote, or if there's someone that's messaged you that you haven't read yet. So once you have set up with all your information as you as an artist, your bio, portfolio, and the information about budget, and also about how much deposit you require for a project to go ahead. I always recommend 50%. I do that on all my other work, so why would I change that when working with Book an Artist? So the platform is really nicely set up so that you can clearly categorise if you've got a new inquiry, whether you already are in conversation with someone and you have quoted, or whether there's an active or inactive case on the platform. So that means that if you are in the process, you are working with that person, it is in one category on the platform. If you have quoted someone, but then that hasn't gone any further, you can put that to inactive on your platform. Or if there's someone that you know is waiting to get back to you, you can just leave it there in your messages and it's very clearly marked out, which I think is great. Organisation is always fantastic. It's also really clear once you have received an inquiry, the actions that you can take next. They have clear buttons, so then you can do a quote and you use all of their forms online to do the quote. So that quote looks like an invoice, and then if the client goes ahead with that quote, then you can just change it into an invoice style using the platform. So you don't have to do any of your own invoicing, you don't have to do any of the documentation. It's all done automatically. You just put in the information of your service, of the job you're doing, and then the deposit, so the price, and then you put in how much deposit, so 50%, and it'll divide it automatically. So it's really nice and easy set up. And then you can send out the invoice when you've agreed on that too. Booking artists state that each client should send clear photographs of the wall if it's for a mural. Not every client will read that information and take it in and know how important it is to be able to do a quote. But when you first get an inquiry, if they haven't sent photos, then I just usually do my usual messaging where I ask for clear photos, dimensions, and if they have a budget in mind. This makes it very easy for then you to create a quote knowing what it is that you are going to be creating for. So one downside that I feel for the platform is the fact that you're supposed to do everything through the platform. Now normally if I would get an inquiry to my website or via email, then I would then at that point move to a phone call. I'd move to a phone call to get that much more personal connection with the person, so then I can really find out what it is that they're wanting out of the project, to let them know more about my style and how I work, and see if we're a good fit. I like to do a phone call because I feel like it covers a bit more information and you're not reading into anything that you might be reading into an email, or you can ask all the questions and they're answered then and there, whereas in an email sometimes you might miss that. Now it's not that you cannot do a phone call with your client, it's just that they want to keep everything on the platform so that they've got you covered. So I would still suggest doing a phone call and then refer back to your messages and saying, as covered on our phone call, and go through the information like that, so you still have it all on the platform. They are also always updating all the things on the platform, so I have seen that they have asked for feedback, like would we be interested in Zoom calls? And I said yes, because that way they can still have everything on the platform, so it still all works cohesively, but then we can still get that personal connection once you've communicated with your client about the information, you've done a quote, you've changed it to invoice, and you've got your first paying client. Now this is so important, so please listen to this. This isn't just for booking artists, this is for working with any client. You state that you want 50% deposit before any work starts. That means do not do any design work before they have made the first payment. The design work is such an important part of the workload. It takes time, it's getting all that information that they're wanting into a visual piece before you're actually installing a mural. So make sure that you get that 50% before you start on the design process. Then from there, it's going back and forward in how you decide to work. On Booking Artist, they suggest that you do 2 revisions on your designs, and it just depends on what way you prefer to work. I just applied my usual process to the Booking Artist platform and stated that when I gave the quote and when I gave the invoice. You've got your design, you've got an installation date ready for the mural to go ahead. Do the mural, client loves it, what next on the platform? Then it's really important to click that you've completed the job. That means from that point, they are then to pay the remaining balance. So you'll see this clearly on the Book an Artist platform. You can go to the payments section and it ticks and says the date, the client's name and what they've paid, so you know if you're missing any payments. On the invoice it states that the client has 7 days after completion of the mural to make the payment. Now this is an area that I'm not sure the platform how they cover it, if there is payments that are delayed, if they step in or what the process is there. It's really important to remember the Book an Artist take 20% commission on your fee. So it is really clearly noted when you are calculating, when you put in the amount that you are charging for the job, there's a clear part that shows how much Book an Artist are taking. So when you make the calculation, do not forget to add that in. So that means that you are adding that extra 20% to cover their charges. A couple of other features, they've added a job opportunity area to the dashboard on Book an Artist, which means that you can have a look at any clients that are posting their jobs on the platform looking for artists and see if any of those fit you, your style, your interest and your budget. Now, one other thing that isn't part of the platform is there is no contract to send. I never do any work without both an invoice and a contract signed. So the invoice is already built into the Book an Artist platform, so you can use their invoice, but I used my own contract. You're sending messages to the client, so I sent my contract to be signed, which has my timeline and all of the extra things to cover me as an artist and to cover them as a client. Now, a feature that I've forgotten to use and I'm going to get on straight away is the review section. After you've completed a job within the Book an Artist platform, you can then request a review. And so you send the link to your review area on your platform and you send it to the client and ask them to leave a review. Reviews always help, and so don't forget to use this feature because it will probably get you more clients. So overall, I had a great experience using Book an Artist platform and I'm definitely going to stay on and use it. So let me do a quick summary of some of the benefits of Book an Artist platform and why you should be on it, and some of the downsides just to keep in mind when you are using the platform to get new clients. Number one benefit is that Book an Artist platform has a great CEO. It has a great name, Book an Artist. So if anybody is Googling Book an Artist, they are the first ones on the page for Google, which means they have brilliant SEO, brilliant reach. So it's always worth being on a site that is right at the top of the Google search. Number two is that it's always good to have your work on another website, another portfolio site for other people to reach that may not reach you through your website. Number three is the organization of the site. It's really clearly laid out. It makes each step really easy to use and really clear to see where you're standing with each of your clients, even if you have multiple inquiries coming in. Number four is the possibility of reaching new clients that love your style. That way, they're coming to you because they like what they have seen. And you always want to work with clients that love your work. Number five is the diversity of clients. On this platform, they have worked with the likes of Netflix to your next door neighbour. So they have both the reach of global companies, but also connections with the local communities in the area and people that want a personal commission. So it means you have a huge outreach of both commercial clients and personal clients. So that way you have a huge breadth of people that are coming to the platform that you have the potential to work with. Now for the downsides. Number one is don't expect all your work to come through the platform. If you're an artist, you always have to have different ways to diversify where your income comes from and how people reach you. So don't expect all your work to suddenly rush through Book an Artist, but it's a fantastic platform to reach new clients. Number two is that you have to charge more. Book an Artist take a 20% commission, and you just have to make sure that you calculate that when you're charging the client. So this might mean that you charge a little bit more than you normally do, but don't charge less than you normally would, because it's really important to know your value as an artist and know that some people might not be able to afford you and others will. So just make sure that you're taking into account who the client is, 20% extra that you need to add on, and what your value is of the work. Number 3 is that there's no contract. You can use the invoice on the platform, but there is no contract on the platform, and I never do any work without both a contract and an invoice. So you just have to make sure that you send your own contract through the platform to be signed so that you have that clear communication with the client about what you're delivering, what they're getting, and what you are creating for them as an artist. Number 4 is the fact that you need to stay on the platform, which means no to phone calls. This isn't a hard no, it just means that everything that you communicate with on the client should be through the platform. So if you do take a phone call that is away from the platform, make sure that you put all your communication that you have had on that call back on the platform so that everything is communicated through their service of Book an Artist and everything is clear. Like I said, this is something that may change in the future as the platform develops to include phone calls as well, which would be fabulous. As you can see, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. So I recommend get on Book an Artist, showcase the world your work and find amazing new clients. Let me know in the comments below if this video was helpful and that if you joined Book an Artist platform and the clients that you get through it. If you found this video useful, give me a thumbs up and press subscribe, as it helps me reach more people like you that will find this content helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for the next creative adventure.
Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell.